Let me show you a couple more examples before we move on to something else. When we split the factor, we are making binomials out of this trinomial. The very first term goes in this first position. It's a copy job. The last one goes in the last position with its sign. Then you're going to be splitting this middle part. So you've got to get a factor, two factors that will add or subtract to 30, but multiply to 25. Because this a coefficient, the coefficient of the x squared, is larger than 1, we have to multiply this together before we start looking for our factors. 9 times 25 is 225. And now we're going to start. That seems like a very high number, but because you know your divisibility rules, this is going to be fairly quick. A low and a high. 2 is not going to work. This is an odd number, and even numbers only divide into even numbers. So we've got 2 will not work. 3, let's test for 3. We have to add the digits and see if it is divisible by 3. So 2 plus 2 is 4, and 4 plus 5 is 9, and 3 will divide into 9, so 3 will divide into 225. Into 22, it's 7 times with 1 left over, and 3 divides into 15 5 times. 4 is not going to work, we'll pass on it. 5 definitely works, it ends in a 5. 5 divides into 22 4 times with 2 left over. 5 divides into 25 5 times. 6 won't work, it's even number. 7 divides into 22 3 times with 1 left over. That's going to give us a remainder, so I'm passing on 7. 8 won't work. 9. Well, we know that that added up to 9, so 9 definitely divides into itself, so 9 will divide into 225. 9 goes into 22 2 times, that's 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, with a remainder of 4 this time, so that's 45. 9 goes into 45 5 times. And that was actually the factor that we used to get the 225 to begin with. All right, will 10 work? No, 10, it would have to end in a 0. 11, no, I can see that right now. It'll go into 22, but it won't go into 5. 12 is an even number. 13, unlikely. 13 divides into 22. Let's see, that's 1s and 13. 95, nope, that's not going to work. 14 isn't going to work, it's even. 15 will. 15 divides into 22 once. 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. There's a remainder of 7. And 15 times 5, I believe, is 225. 15 times 15 is 25. Carry 2 is 7. 5 and 1. 5, 2, and 2. There's where we overlapped, so we can stop our factoring at this point. So now we're looking for two numbers, the two factors that add or subtract to 30. And actually, it's our last one. If we had 15 plus 15, it would be 30. So now we're going to have to deal with our signs. We need a positive 25. That's multiplication. So we have 2 negatives or 2 positives make 25, a positive 25. And we didn't need a negative 30. The only way we can get that with the choices that we have is that one. So we're going to do a negative 15, and that's an x, and a negative 15x. We're splitting this term. So we're actually splitting this to the x. So we have 15 of the x's went here, and 15 of the x's went there. Now we're ready to actually, we've done the splitting of the factors. Now we're going to do the greatest common factor. So here's our greatest common factor part. So we can take a 3 out of it, and there's an x in both of the terms too. So we can take a 3x out. That would leave us with 3x minus 3 divides into 15 5 times. Next one, 15 and 25. Take a 5 out of this. In that case, we would have negative 3x plus 5. But my signs are wrong. The numbers are correct, but the signs are wrong. That tells me that I should have taken out a negative 5. And when I do that, negative 5 goes into 15 3 times, and negative 5 divides into 25 5 times, but the signs tell me it's a negative 5. Now, these match. So you always have to be on the lookout for, you're trying to keep so many things straight in your mind that you have to keep on looking and looking to see that your thinking didn't skip a step. And in this case, taking just a 5 out gave us the right numerals but the wrong signs. So that you can catch that right away and go back and fix it. So the 3x minus 5 is one of the factors. It goes from the other two factors, the 3x minus 5, that comes from the greatest common factors that we took out. So this is our binomial. We have successfully factored it. And if you wanted to check this to come back to the original, this is our answer. This would be 9x squared minus 15x minus 15x plus 25. (9x squared minus 30x plus 25. It checks. This is our answer.